Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. Today we have Sashwath back with us in the studio. So we thought today we'll talk about something that all of you have always been asking us and wondering about. How much should you sip depending on which stage you're in life? What would be expected return if we sip? And we thought we'll take practical examples, give you some practical numbers, and so you can think about it. It's something for you to ponder on and to see if sipping is something for you and if something you should be doing. That being said, I thought we'd let Shashwat take over and tell us what are the first few examples, and I will punch it in the SIP calculator, and then we'll analyze and see how it goes. So what is the first age group you're looking at, Shashwat?
Yeah, before we start, it's supposed to be a benchmark. It's not applicable to everyone perfectly. So look at it as a benchmark. Some of you might be able to put more money away. Some of you might be able to put less money away. So that being said, the youngest age group, which I believe should be the starting point, is from about 10 or 12 years old up till 16 or 17 years old, until you become an adult pretty much. So that's about 5-6 years. And you can ask your parents for about 500 rupees per month or 1000 rupees per month. And yes, it may look like a steep amount for a 12-year-old to be asking their parents, but I'm sure that this amount would be justified when you explain to your parents that you're going to be using this to invest. You're not going to be spending it on shoes, or you're not going to be spending it on the cool new Hot Wheels car or something like that. This is going to be something which you're investing. That being said, if you can successfully get about 500,000 rupees for over, say, 5 years, from 12 years old till 17 years old, let's see how much 500 rupees per month compounded at a safe rate about 10%, which is what you get on your corporate bonds. And the Nifty index will definitely beat that. But 10% is a conservative amount. Let's just see how much that comes up to. So if you've invested 1000 rupees per month at 10% per annum, and for a period of 5 years, the invested amount will be about 60,000 rupees. Your wealth gain will be 18,000 rupees, and your expected amount in terms of payout, if you just take it out then, would be 78,000 rupees. This is just by blindly investing in the index at a very conservative amount. Let's say the Nifty doesn't perform very well, you definitely will be able to secure at least this much at just 1,000 rupees. And even if you didn't get that 18,000 rupees in terms of a return, what you'll end up seeing is that 60,000 rupees regardless has been collected and secured. And when it comes to your college admission fees, the 60,000 rupees goes a long way to be able to pay for a semester of college. Maybe you're able to help your parents with living fees. Because as far as I'm concerned, accommodation doesn't go for more than 60,000, 70,000 rupees. So you can take the load off your parents, where it's like finding a pot of gold which you buried in your backyard a long time ago. So it's like a nice surprise.
Or if you need to buy a bike, 60,000 rupees can go a long way into buying yourself a bike. Now let's say you did this for 5 years and you say you collected this money, then your parents say, don't break it. You continue doing that investment and you let it go. Let's say we push this. By the time you finish your college, it's another 5 years and you get into your first job. Let's add another 10 years and see what happens. Let's say we extend this by 10 years. And let's say the expected return, let's make it 11%.
11%, very reasonable.
Very reasonable for a period of 15 years.
Yes.
Now we're talking about the amount of money you would have invested is only 1.8 lakhs. The wealth gain is almost 3 lakhs. So the total expected return is 4,58,857 rupees.
And just like that, you've got a huge sum of money just by investing 1,000 rupees, right?
Correct.
1,000 rupees per month. And I'm sure that once you start earning, forget you start earning, even when you go to college, I'm sure you can negotiate a greater amount of money to be invested. Your SIP can be much more than just 1,000 rupees. What we're talking about is kids who want to get into investing, who start with 1,000 rupees, 500 rupees from their parents, just to get the habit started. And I'm sure that parents, you guys wouldn't miss the 1,000 rupees much. But just look at how much 1,000 rupees for over 15 years, when invested rigorously per month, can accomplish. And
Correct.
Now if you amp this up and say that you want to invest, so now let's look at something a bit more realistic, in my opinion. If the compounding rate should be around 12% is what I think.
Yes.
Is what the Nifty.
So let's take someone at your age.
Yeah.
Who's just going, let's say, finish college and start a job.
Yes.
And your first salary is around 25,000-30,000 rupees.
Yes.
What percentage of a salary do you think is reasonable to put
Definitely, it's on a salary of 25 to 30,000. There's definitely no way I'm going to live by myself. So I'll be living under the roof of my parents or some accommodation which they're helping me out with. So that being said, my food costs also go down because of that. And on top of that, what ends up happening is a lot of my money is now freed up for being able to invest. Some of you might be in a rush to go out and start get your own place and room with someone. That's not a bad thing. But let's just take the scenario which I'm talking about, where you live with your parents still, or some accommodation they've arranged for you. You have the food arranged for as well. So now, out of this 25 to 30,000 rupees, let's say you want to spend 10,000 rupees on entertainment per month. So let's say you have only about 20,000 rupees left after your expenditure in terms of entertainment, 15 to 20,000 rupees. Now let's look at that per month at
How much is that?
12% and
10,000 rupees a month.
10,000 rupees, 10 to 15,000 rupees a month.
Okay, let's say 15,000 rupees a month.
15,000 is a reasonable amount. And let's
do that for 15 years.
15 years and 12%.
12%.
Yeah.
The amount you would invested would be around 27 lakhs. The wealth gain is 48,68,639. And the expected return, which is totally if you cash out at the end of 15 years, is around 75.6 lakhs.
At the end of 15 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when I'm starting at 19. I'm 19 now. And you do that for
That's around the age of 34.
Yeah. So by the time you're 34, you're already well on your way to be able to buy a property, in fact.
Yes.
And property prices, as we've already discussed before, aren't going to move, aren't going to budge much. So you have the possibility to buy a property
If you so desire.
If you so desire. At the age of 34, 35, which is a reasonable age to be able to outright say, I don't want a loan, I can buy the property outright.
Correct.
So this is, that's just the power of compounding. And the thing is, over 15 years, my salary is not going to be 25,000, 30,000 rupees. Your salary is also going to increase as your earning power increases.
Yes. So it's called a step-up calculator.
Yes.
So let's say now we put the same amount, what you were saying, 15,000.
Yeah.
And we step up every year by 10%.
Sure.
Right? And 12% interest, expected rate of
Return.
15 years. Now we're talking about some real big numbers now. The amount of money you would have invested is around 57 lakhs. Expected return is 65. The total payout after 15 years will be 1.23 crores.
That's enough to buy your Lamborghini or your Porsche, and you're just swimming in it now.
Yeah.
And at the age of 34, if you have enough money to be able to flaunt, this goes to the gentleman who asked us about your father-in-law and being able to show a house for a match.
Better than that would be if you show him a bank balance of
Exactly.
1.5 crores. Your father-in-law will be far more impressed.
Right. So that's something which is very doable. And 10% step up calculator. I'm sure most of you will have your salaries increase by way more than 10% because you're going to have an educated degree. You guys are going to be fluent in English if you're watching this channel, definitely. And your earning power in India, you'll probably be top 1% of India. So your salary should be much more than what we're talking about. We're talking about very little numbers here. And now we've talked about the youth phase. Now let's transition into middle ages.
Correct. Let's say you're at the age of 35 now.
Yes.
Now you are a 35-year-old watching this YouTube and you're like, okay, it's time I saw Sashwath, felt inspired, and I started at the age of 35. So by the age I retire at 60, I have something to rely on.
25 years left.
Yeah, 25 years left. So let's assume a person who's 35 years old, who's a working professional. What do you think his salary would be?
60, 70,000?
60, 70,000.
Yes.
And let's say he's definitely not living with his parents.
Yeah.
His wife probably will be working and earning too.
Definitely.
So it'll be a dual income house. Each of you probably bringing around together a total of around $1.5 lakh.
Yes.
$1.5 lakh into the household. And if you have a child, education and house rental, everything, if you minus from that, you probably have around 50,000 rupees to invest. If you take food, education cost, entertainment and everything out.
Let's be really conservative and say only 30,000 rupees left.
Okay, 30,000 rupees left.
Yes.
So you plug in 30,000 and you annually step up by 10%.
Let's say his earnings don't increase as much later in his career. So let's
10%.
say 5%.
5%.
Yes.
Okay, 5%. And the expected rate of return is 12.
12.
And he's going to retire 35 means that's 25 years, is
Yes.
it? Now let's put that into 25 years. So, as I said, 25,000, 5% step up.
Yeah.
12% is the rate of return, 25-year period. You would have invested around 1.43 crores. Your estimated return would be 5 crores. Your total value you retire will be almost 6.5 crores, 6.44 crores
6.44 crores
at the age of 60.
at the age of 60, when you just blindly closing your eyes, SIPing every month, you can automate it. It'll happen automatically. You don't even have to move a muscle. And that's the kind of money we're talking about. You're not trying to be Warren Buffett.
And you take that money and you put it into a good bond.
And you're set for life. And
Yes.
you'll
You
get
get
about
10-12%.
Yeah.
Out of 6.5 crores, 10% is how much?
60 lakhs.
60 lakhs a year,
Yeah.
divided by 12.
And you're swimming in it. And 60 lakhs per annum, you're now already earning more than what your salary is giving you.
Correct.
So your salary, we said, was 1.5 lakhs per month. And over a year, that comes up to about 12 lakhs and so on and so forth, about 14 lakhs of money. But now you've come to 60 lakhs per annum just by doing very simple investing. And this is the investing we believe in. This is the investing Warren Buffett believes in. Although, yes, we here aren't asking you to be a magician. We're not asking you to pull a rabbit out of a hat. And we can't pull a rabbit out of a hat. That's even something which we'd like to say. And you don't have to pull a rabbit out of a hat if you want to be able to retire. For you to be able to want to retire, you have to make up your mind and decide that you want to put away some amount of money in SIPing, in a low-cost, passively managed ETF, which tracks the Nifty 50. You can invest in the S&P 500, which is yielded about 12% or 12.7% with dividends reinvested. And if you take the INR depreciation, you get about another 5 to 10% on top of that. So the S&P 500 is a great avenue for those professionals who have the option to invest. So those of you who are working in MNCs and big IT companies and are able to earn in dollars. NRIs pretty much is even better for you, because you'll be able to easily match up to 6.5 crores and even surpass it by miles.
Correct. And let's say, for just for the sake of argument, we just move these numbers up slightly to show you how much a small difference can make. Instead of 25,000, let's say we make it 30,000. And instead of 5% step up, let's say we make it 8%. Right? Return is the same, period is the same. Now, we're almost touching 10 crores. You're going 9.9 crores.
9.9 crores.
Yeah, and you take that at the age of 60 and you take 10%. 10% of 10 crores is
1 crore.
There you go. And divide that by 12. That's the amount of money you get to spend every month and not worry about your nest egg. These are just numbers. But this would only happen if you do the sipping.
Yeah. And
the advantage in this sipping is you don't need to know about shares. You don't need to know about stocks. You don't need to worry about macroeconomics, microeconomics, who's in power, what is happening. This Russia invading Ukraine. You don't worry about all that. That doesn't matter. You just invest on India, you invest on the Nifty passively, and you forget about it. You don't even have to worry about it. You keep putting it, you will beat it. And that's why Warren Buffett also rightly said,
yes,
there's no fund manager who can beat passive indexing.
You can't. And yes, it's possible that, like what happened to Russia, your country could go through its fair share of turmoil. But that is something which, even if you don't invest in the SIP index fund, you're still going to be ruined. So if the country itself is going to be ruined, then regardless of whether you put your money or not, it's all the same. So you might as well put your money in it and get the 10 crores instead of arguing, saying that what if.
Yeah.
Because you'll always have what ifs.
And the what ifs don't feed you at the end of the day.
Yes. You'd rather have 10 crores it's like there's famous example. It says there's a professor and there's a student walking down and there's 10 rupees on the ground. And the student says, look, professor, there's a 10 rupee note on the ground. The professor says, that's not possible. Someone would have lifted it already. And the professor wouldn't look down. So the student picks it up, puts it in his pocket and walks off.
Correct.
That's pretty much what's happening here. You have to be the student. You have to be willing to take up that 10 rupee note on the ground and put it in your pocket and keep walking.
True. And this doesn't include lump sum investing. Some of you might get your bonuses. Some of you might have a windfall of some inheritance or property sale. And if you plug in all those also, these numbers can inflate into some real huge numbers by the time you're 60 years old.
Yeah.
So it's never too late. So even if you're very late in life, let's say now we're talking about someone at my age, at the age of 45 you start and you only have
15
years. So someone who's 45 can afford to definitely put somewhere between 45 to 50,000 rupees a month.
Yes, because you want to fast track your retirement.
Yes, and you'll definitely step up 10%. And you're only looking at a window of 15 years. At that point in time, you'll be left with time of retirement almost 4 crores, which is 3.68 crores. But this is where the length of the runway makes such a difference. The sooner you start, the younger you start, the longer you invest, the bigger your profits.
And just for the sake of looking at the number and trying to inflate it as much as possible, let's now look at an 18-year-old.
Let's even take it better. Let's say you're a father and you have a newborn child and you want to take care of your child, a son or daughter. You want to leave them something as a legacy. So as soon as your child is born, you start investing 1,000 rupees in your child's name, right? And you let it, and you make sure the child keeps doing it till it retires at the age of 60, just 1,000 rupees a month.
And you can step it up by a lot.
This calculator is not even allowing me to do, so it's saying maximum 40. So let's say 40 years,
Yeah.
right? That 1,000 rupees a month after 40 years will be almost 3.3 crores.
Just 1,000 rupees.
Yeah. So imagine your child when it's 40 years old and you give it a piece of paper saying, here's 4 crores.
Yeah. So that's the magic of compounding. That's SIPing.
And there's nothing more happier that will make your child at that age when it's going through its crisis and career and marriage, when you suddenly give it a windfall of 4 crores and say, here, take.
Figure your life out.
Yes.
And that's why we keep coming back to you and keep saying SIP, and we don't recommend trading and options and such because you don't need it. It's the answer is right there. All you need is time and discipline. 2 things. And if you're able to discipline, you don't even have to have discipline. You just have to automate it. Let your bank account be debited. As long as you show up to work and your salary gets credited into that account, the money will be debited and you don't have to move a muscle. That's all there is to it. There's no discipline involved here.
No.
So we're making it as easy as we can for you, and we hope those of you at home who are listening to this will now get inspired, and those of you who are already doing this will up their investment, spend less, save more, and reap the benefits a few years later.
And one last calculation I want to give you to show you how absurd it is when you have long runways. Let's say you talk about the same child and you only invest 100 rupees, not even 1,000. My Karthik is looking at me like, what are you saying? 100 rupees, like if I'd only known this, he's looking at me and saying 13% is a return I'm saying over a period of 65 years. The child is asked to invest till the age of 65 for his retirement. 100 rupees it keeps putting. No annual top up or increasing the amount. So no step up. This 100 rupees till the age of 65. By the time it's 65, it'll be 4.2 crores. 100 rupees a month.
And that's really your tiffin coffee money.
Correct.
Which, so
for Kesar, there'll be a cigarette money. Probably less than a cigarette money, but anyway.
yeah, but that's as simple as it gets. And
because most of the thing what happens in life is stress is what gets to you. What kills you at the end of the day is not anything, not cancer, not diabetes, all this. All this is the root cause is stress. And what is the biggest stress factor for everybody? It's money. If you remove stress in your life, if you remove stress, which is money in your life, that whole problem vanishes for you. Your life becomes very peaceful. All your wants also disappear. There's only this wants and desire when you have a need for money. When you have 5-6 crores in your account, trust me, there are very few things you'll want to buy. Suddenly everything will look rather normal. It won't be like I must have this. It will vanish.
yeah.
Anyways, with that said, and I hope this, like Sashwath was saying, where we're concluding, we're not advisors, SEBI advisors, we're not analysts, we're not here to tell you what to buy, how to buy. We're just sharing some knowledge which we have gained over the years, and hope that us sharing it with you will make you think and ponder and get you into investing and trying to lead a life which is more meaningful. That's about it.
And next video, or in one of the upcoming videos, we'll also look at how inflation can erode assets. And if you don't invest, we can see how your money will erode and how quickly it can erode. So that is something you guys can look forward to.
And if all of you are wondering where are we using these calculators from, you can just go to Google and search SIP calculators, and there will be hundreds and thousands of them. And you can even compare and check on different calculators to see if these numbers are fudged or if they're really the numbers we are saying. So we do encourage you to Google it and read and do it yourself. Instead of relying on our tools, find your own tools and find out what works the best for you. Yeah. That being said, thank you again for joining us today on Be Rich. Please do subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification icon. And if you do think this video is something your friends and family would like, please do share it with them. Thank you again for joining us on Be Rich.
I am in Tokyo on work on the 5th of August 2023. I have a lot of following in Japan, Tokyo. Those who want to meet me in Tokyo on 5th August, kindly drop me an email on the address given below or contact us on WhatsApp there. My team would get in touch with you and facilitate the meeting. Once again, I thank you for your support for Be Rich. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.